a cultural hub, expansive parks, world-class entertainment and international dining, places to shop and beautiful spaces to call home for more than 140,000 diverse residents. This is the City of Miramar, the dynamic city at the center of everything, and we are at your service. A growing city, alive with cultural diversity, Miramar is the perfect place to live, work, and raise a family. The sprawling city of Miramar sits on the Broward-Dade County line and stretches west from bustling State Road 7 to State Road 27 on the edge of the Everglades. This is where our story begins, the story of our most precious commodity. We can't cook without it, we can't stay clean without it. Much of our recreation depends on it, and let's be honest, we can't live without it. This is the story of our water, the source of life. We all take it for granted. We turn on a pipe and water comes out. But do you know where the water in your tap comes from?
No.
The water in my tap, it comes from, I saw a big tower not far from here, several blocks over.
No, that's the source that everybody's source mainly, no. Never did give it any thought.
While you're out and about at play or sleeping, the men and women who operate the Miramar water treatment facilities are at work making sure your water stays on 24/7. More importantly, however, they do the essential tasks necessary to ensure that the water in your tap is purified and safe for you to use. Come with us on a tour of the East Miramar Water Treatment Plant. Together, we'll explore and learn just what makes it all work. To tell our story, we enlisted the help of 4 Miramar residents. We needed to be sure they were really Miramar residents, so of course, we asked them how long they'd lived here. We caught Joe working on his garden,
I've been here since '97.
a Johnny chilling outside.
Probably my entire life, yeah.
Sophia opened her door to
A
us,
little over 15 years.
and Jeff was caught off guard outside his home.
About 5 years.
Okay, great. So everyone's in place. Let's now meet Jeff and his team at the East Miramar Water Treatment Plant. I promise it will be interesting and fun.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Pinter, Chief Operator of the East Miramar Water Treatment Plant. This is our new Nano filtration facility that we built with a design build where the engineers, the construction company, and utility staff all worked together for many years to plan this development here. Rather than designing and then building, we saved over $20 million in this project.
Originally built in the late 1950s, the plant was extensively renovated in 2019. It was so much more than a simple renovation, however. It was out with the old and in with the new, and it was an exciting time for everyone. After all, who doesn't like to watch a wrecking ball and big machinery in action? The new plant transitioned the process from a lime softening process to a nanofiltration process. The now fully automated plant is managed by a team of 10 operators with at least 2 present at all times to keep the water flowing. What an amazing transformation!
Nano filtration takes the hardness out of the water and any odors that might be in there, and we make the water as pure as possible, and we disinfect it and we send it out to the people. We get our water from drinking water wells about 150 feet into the ground, and we pump it here where we filter it for sand first. We put it through our nano filtration system, which is basically a filter that lets water through its membranes and not the hardness. So we end up with some nice soft water that has no objectionable taste or odors. And after that, we, in a process area where we treat it, it then goes through our pump system here. This is our high service pump station, all brand new. We have 425 horsepower pumps in there, and all that water comes from our 1.5 million gallon new water storage tank that the finished water goes into before we pump it out to this community. It has a nice brand new level indicator on it where we keep it full most of the time. This plant runs at a capacity that we can keep our water storage for emergency purposes. This tank is twice the size of our previous tank, and we're expected to get a 50-year life out of this. So it holds the water for emergency purposes, for fire protection, and for hurricane use if the plant goes down. In this facility, we also have a brand new diesel generator. So if we do have hurricanes, we have the ability for power for this place without FP&L for up to 2 weeks. This plant was originally designed and built in 1955 as a lime softening plant. It lasted many, many years, but finally reached its lifetime, and we've replaced it with a nano filtration plant that takes the water. We take 80% of the water out of the water stream and leave all the minerals behind with the last 20%. That is called our reject, which we take that water and we put it down an injection well 3,600 feet in the ground to get rid of it. The water is basically fresh water with a lot of minerals in it. We're putting it down in a zone down the ground where it's brackish water, where it's slightly salty. This way in the future, we might even have to be able to draw that water back when the technology is available and use that for drinking water also. So it's the technology we're using now is setting us up for the future, and if the technologies come along that improve the treatment process, we'll be able to work toward that in the future. This is a nano filtration plant that uses water from the Biscayne aquifer, which is the groundwater in South Florida.
We found out that this was not common knowledge. We asked residents if they knew about the Biscayne aquifer.
I've never heard of that.
I thought that this reservoir here just collected water magically from the rain or something. I don't know.
It just mean Biscayne, like down in Miami.
I would think my water traveling very far to me. Biscayne sound far and aquifer sound like some water catchment area, but again, never gave it much thought.
What do you know about the Biscayne aquifer?
The Biscayne, what?
Jeff told us it's where the groundwater is. But where does all that water come from? Rainwater seeps into the ground and gets trapped in the aquifer. Here the water mixes with water from the Everglades and flows slowly like an underground river near the surface, just waiting to be tapped. And because our drinking water supply is so close to the surface, it is important that we safeguard it from contamination by protecting our environment. Man-made lakes and canals do more than beautify our city. They are important to our wildlife and for stabilizing our water table.
The first step in the nano treatment process is well water. We pull our water from 150 feet in the ground through submersible pumps and through this device here. We have pressure gauges and flow meters here, so we know exactly how much water is coming out for our process. Well water has a little bit of a well water odor to it. Here, have a smell. We remove all that smell. Oh, you can't smell, it's a smell-o-vision here. But the water, a little bit of odor that it does have, we take it out. A lot of people who may have smelled well water before knows a little bit of odor. We remove that, we remove the hardness, and we make it smell good, and we make it taste good.
The city boasts a brand new 1.5 million gallon storage tank that stores the purified water before it's pumped out to the community. We asked, do you drink the water in your tap?
Not that I can recall, no.
I don't drink the water from the tap, but I've been told it's safe.
I have done so on occasion, but I just do it with a little bit of apprehension.
No.
Because you didn't know it was safe?
Yeah, they always told me otherwise.
Yes, the water is safe to drink and to enjoy in Miramar. And to prove it to you, let's take a quick look at the state-of-the-art nanofiltration process that makes it so.
All our chemical lines and water pipes around are color-coded for the reason what they are. This right here, this olive green pipe, is all the well water, what we call raw water, coming into the plant. As the water comes in, we have a chemical station here that we get deliveries from. And one is for fluoride, the other one is anti-scalp. Fluoride, of course, is for your teeth and your bones, so as you grow, you'll have nice, strong bones. We have anti-scalant here, this gets delivered here. This keeps our membranes from getting scaled up during the process. And in case of emergencies, we have an emergency shower here, so if there's any chemicals getting anybody, they can wash it off immediately. And then so it also has an alarm, so if other people come along and he needs help, it'll automatically notify everyone in the plant. And that way we'll know if someone's hurt. Normally they'll come running. And so these alarm systems really save lives and protect our workers.
Now comes the best part. Let's go behind closed doors for an up-close and personal look at the fine machinery of the East Miramar Water Treatment Plant.
You saw outside earlier our olive green pipe that's raw water, our well water comes in. It comes through the wall here into these cartridge filters. Each one of these carry over 500 of these. And these filters we change every 3 months. This makes sure those sand gets to our treatment units.
Remember the fluoride and antiscalant Jeff mentioned earlier? This is where those essential ingredients gets added to our water.
After the injection of antiscalant and fluoride in the cartridge filters, the water flows to these 75 horsepower feed motors. Each one of these raise the pressure up to about 100 psi to feed our nano filtration units. We have 4 treatment units, each with 1.5 million gallons a day, and each one of these pumps can pump 1.5 million gallons a day to it.
Now that's a lot of water. Perfect for supplying the ever-growing city of Miramar.
This is our VFD room, our electrical room. Each one of these devices will variable speed our pumps and motors. So they go slow or fast depending on the volume of water we want. These are electrical control panels. Everything's automated in here, and it's all hooked up to our SCADA system. So in our control room, we have every one of these switches we can see on our computers. So it's fully automated, and we can watch it. There's a problem, and we also have people come in here regularly checking everything to make sure it's okay.
Still not convinced about how clean and pure the water is?
No.
Wait until you see the nanofiltration system East Miramar Water Treatment Plant has.
This is a new nanofiltration skids here. We have 4 skids total, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each skid's divided into 2 parts. We have a first stage where these sets are here, and a second stage. Here, the permeate comes out, and the concentrate that goes from this goes over to stage number 2, where it gets further treated. We remove some more of the water before we send off the reject to the pump station and off down to the deep injection gel. During that time, we control it using a human machine interface, a touch screen. This is what we call an HMI, a human machine interface. We use it to wash the system and regenerate it. We can go through and check all the equipment and operate it from here. But this is just for on-site operations. Most everything is run by our SCADA system, either automatically or manually operated by our operators in the control center. We also have each one of these vessels, we have a sample point for each one of these. And what we do with that, we check them to make sure they're working as expected. We come through here and we do something called mapping, where we map everything that happens here. So each vessel's kind of separate little water treatment system. So each one's combined in the end. We want to check each one separately. So we go through and check every single vessel periodically to make sure it's functioning as it's built. This is our clean in place system. It's used periodically as our vessels start to fail, maybe with calcium carbonate. We can run acid through them and wash them, and then we use caustic. We also have some other cleaning agents we use. And about once a year, we like to clean the vessels here. For the first cleaning, this plant's brand new, but we're going to try to do a little cleaning a little in advance so we get the practice of doing it correctly and see if all the equipment's working just as planned.
The East Miramar Water Treatment Plant supplies water mainly to the city's residents east of Palm Avenue, which is northwest 100th Avenue. But the facility has the capacity to provide water for the entire city if needed. Okay, time for a pop quiz. Let's see how much you remember. Come on, play along. Where does the water that feeds the city of Miramar come from? You're right. The Biscayne aquifer. Give yourself 10 points. What is the first ingredient added to our water to help build strong bones and teeth? Right again. Fluoride. 100% right. You get an A. Great. Now let's get back to the story of our water.
This is our corrosion inhibitor station. We use this to stabilize the water so we don't have any problem with lead and copper in the system. I know you all heard of Flint, Michigan. This is the chemical they did not feed there in Flint that caused all their problems. We use this. This keeps our lead and coppers half the national limit, and we're very proud that we can keep our lead and copper so low, and this is one of the systems that help with that. This is our bypass system. If we ever want to go make more water than the plant's designed for, we can add 5% of the water volume leaving the plant just by taking raw water and bypassing the whole system, and it's only 5%. So it brings up our hardness just a little bit and maybe make it taste a little better sometimes. Right now we're not using it, but just like the other cartridge filters, we filter the raw water before it goes through. These are 5-micron filters, so only the tiniest little things get past us.
You would think that with such a sophisticated system, nanofiltration and all that, the water would be ready, but not quite yet. The City of Miramar goes the extra mile to ensure the water is completely safe for consumption.
This is our sodium hypochlorite pump station. This is chlorine bleach that we use to disinfect the water. We feed a 1.5 chlorine residual, which is pretty low. It's all we need because the water's so pure leaving this Nano plant. We have 2 storage tanks here for 10,000 gallons of bleach. They'll last us a few weeks in case of a hurricane. We use a day tank here, which is used so we can only use 1 day's worth of chlorine at a time. We feed this chemical through metering pumps over here with the black and red pumps, and they speed up and slow down with the flow of the water to make sure that it's exact feed rate all the time. We also have an online monitoring system that monitors the chlorine residual so we can run these pumps accurately.
Back out in the sunshine, the aqua pipe tells us that the water has been treated and is almost ready for its final stages of processing. But just before we get there, it's pop quiz time. This is a hard one. What is the last ingredient added to our water to disinfect it? Sodium hypochlorite or chlorine bleach. You got that right. Now don't try that at home.
This is our other chemical station where we get deliveries. One is sodium hydroxide, which raises our pH. The other one is sodium hypochlorite, which we use for disinfection. It's considered chlorine. We get deliveries here. We also have another safety shower here for deliveries in case anyone gets any chemical on them. Also here, you'll see this nice aqua pipe here. This is the water. It's not quite finished water yet, but it's treated water. It hasn't gotten chlorine yet. And this water is color-coded and goes over to our clear well we showed earlier. After it's got treated there, the water pipes become blue. This is called permeate, the water that leaves the nano filtration process. All right, behind me is our high service pump room. We have 4 brand new 125 horsepower variable speed pumps in here that feed the drinking water or finished water out to the city. It takes it right out of our 1.5 million gallon storage tank. So we can adjust the pressure to exactly what we want. Whether people are using more water or not, it adjusts it automatically. We have this water plant on this side of town, we got the west plant on this side of town, and the pressure in the middle is absolutely the same as it is on the sides of town. So with the SCADA system and the VFDs, this is a high-tech system to keep the water pressure in the city of Miramar at a constant pressure that we've chosen. We have a wonderful distribution system here where the water's tested monthly, and it's real safe to drink.
Did you know that the water in your tap from the City of Miramar is safe to drink?
I was always like on the fence about it. I wasn't sure, like could be, couldn't.
My name is Tapper. Kinda helps me, but I have been told it's safe.
No, I did not know that.
This is a new transfer pump station, degasifier, and clear well. Here the water from the process area comes here to get a little further treatment for disinfection. We have a degasifier, which is a tower where water rains down as air comes up. It takes any CO2 out of the air and adds some oxygen to it to make the water taste better. After the water is treated in the clear well, the water is transferred through these blue pipes, and they're painted blue because the water is considered finished water and it's ready to drink. We're just going to move it from the clear well to the storage tank where it will be pumped out to the city later as it's needed.
So now you know exactly where your water comes from. We've shown you all the great new state-of-the-art equipment that makes the East Miramar Water Treatment Plant a world-class water treatment plant. Miramar residents can rest assured that the water quality in their tap is safe for all uses. The process may be automated, but the operators who monitor the system are the most important element in the process. Without their vigilance, even the small issues could lead to a disruption in the service provided. Let's go inside and see what they do.
This is our new control center for our new Nano filtration operation here. This is our SCADA system and our security system here. We operate the water plant, everything from here with our SCADA system. We have our operators like here, like Warren Wainwright is very skilled at operating this. Maybe Warren, you could show us a few things on the SCADA system here that people would be interested.
The screen in front of me is our SCADA system, and that stands for supervisory control and data acquisition. It gives me a lot of information. It gives me my chemical usage and also my flow. We supply water from East Miramar to partially on the west side. After that, the water is blended with the east and the west water plant. Right now, I had the plant offline, so I'm bringing it back online. And part of that duty is to check all my chemicals to make sure everything is still flowing. But the last thing we want to do is to not have chemicals going to the plant. So I'm checking my chemicals. I'm checking my on my pumps to make sure that my pumps are working.
Warren explained that the demand for water was less during the middle of the day while we were visiting. This means he could reduce the amount of water flowing through the pipes until there was more demand later in the day.
Okay, I'm looking at my wells right now, and I actually have an extra well. I'm going to take that well off.
The screens mean nothing to us, but to the operators, these screens are the difference between water in your pipes and no water in your pipes.
So yes, so I'm checking my skids now. I'm taking one skid offline. We have 4 skids, and I'm taking number 4 off, because at this time of the day we don't need that much water, so I'm taking a skid off. So I stopped number 4. So at this time I have skid number 1 and 4 on, and I have 2 wells going. I have a total of 4 wells, and at this time I have well number 2 and 4 on to match the skids. So I'm looking to make sure this skid powers down before I'm making any other move.
Now it's time for a pop quiz. How do we know the water is safe to drink? Because the City of Miramar uses a nanofiltration system, the most technologically advanced in the world. Why is the pipe from the clear well blue? Because it carries finished water that is ready to drink. And what do all those screens mean? You know as much as the rest of us, but as long as the operators are there 24/7, 365 days of the year, we know that they are staying on top of things and keeping our water on and safe. While Jeff and his team are keeping the water flowing in East Miramar, on the other side of town, the West Miramar water treatment plant is also in full operation, producing approximately 12 million gallons of water per day. This plant services the residents on the west side of the city, but just like the east plant, is capable of supplying the entire city if needed. Reverse osmosis and nanofiltration processes ensure that the water quality is consistent across the entire city. The city's wastewater treatment plant also resides in West Miramar. Here, wastewater is reclaimed, treated and used for watering lawns and other projects that do not require potable water. But we'll save that story for another day. And that's the story of our water in the City of Miramar. The story of how the East Water Treatment Plant works together with the West Water Treatment Plant to consistently, efficiently, and cost-effectively provide water that is safe to drink, play in, and enjoy for the entire City of Miramar.